what is your secret to recruiting and, even more important, retaining top data talent on your team? Is there anything that you do or way that you manage that helps to create that culture, helps to recruit and retain A players?
Yeah, we put a lot of effort in culture, in building culture. From the first day I joined Intercorp, one of my first mandates was building a team. And for me, building a team means not just hiring people, but hiring people and make them work together with a shared culture. So first of all, you have to set up that culture, what the culture is going to be, how it's going to look like when you take that culture and bring it into habits and behaviors. So we have defined 3 cultural axes, we call them. The first of them is collaboration. We need to be always collaborating with each other, not just inside our team, but also with the companies we work across the group. So we always have to act as one team instead of, as I said before, us versus them. So collaboration is key for us. The second axe of our culture is self-management. So we need every one of our team to be able to understand what they have to do to achieve the goals that we're setting. So in our team, people should not expect to be told what to do. They should expect to be told what to achieve, but not how to achieve it. And that's very different from what people is normally used to. So it's a bit confusing at the beginning, but then they understand that this gives them the chance to think of how to reach that goal, and that gives them a lot of autonomy to achieve that goal. So it empowers the team to come with more creative solutions and achieve better goals. So that's very important for us also. So we have collaboration, we have self-management, and then we have the third one, which is shared responsibility. So I've seen in previous work experiences, I've been at these meetings, 15 people, and I remember one that was everyone in the room after 2 hours of talking was just explaining why the problem we were trying to fix wasn't their problem. So we end the meeting, and after 2 hours, the conclusion was, we all agreed that there was a problem, and we all agreed that it wasn't nobody's problem. So I was shocked after. I was a consultant, so if no one was responsible of solving that, there wasn't much I could do. But I was so shocked after that meeting that I always think of it and I say, this is the worst thing that can happen to an organization. So in our team, I always tell them, this is like playing football or any other team sport that you like. If it doesn't matter who scores the goal, if we lose the game. So and it's not the player that scores the goal is not more important than the one that the goalkeeper, for example. If someone fails, we all fail. So that's the way we operate as a team. And I think it's taking time to build a culture. The culture doesn't build up in days or weeks. It's taking time, and we're putting a lot of effort into it. And for example, this week, we are having a long session of 2 hours and a half all the team working together, try to co-create how these three cultural axes should be translated into habits. So we are going to select no more than 5 habits, which represent each of these three cultural axes. And when we finish doing that, the result is going to be that we have 15 behaviors that represent the culture that we want to have. So having those clear behaviors will make it easier for each member of the team to reflect on whether they are aligned or not to the culture on a daily or weekly basis, and will help us as a guide to give constructive feedback. So we are, as I mentioned before, putting a lot of effort on the culture, behaviors, and the process, because if we somehow get to master the process, I know that the outcomes are going to be great. There's no single thing that we cannot achieve as a team, but we have to focus first on how to do that instead of what we are going to achieve. Because if we just focus on what we want to achieve without knowing how to get there, probably we're going to get stuck in the middle.
And the how or the why could be different for each person. So no, that's fantastic. That's a great culture, having those three axes and having it laid out what the habits should be, makes it very clear. So great job. That sounds like a very, very good place to work. I appreciate that.
Thank
I have
you.
one last question before we end. Imagine you are mentoring a less experienced rising star in your organization who aspires to one day become a CDO. What piece of advice would you give to them that you could help them as they begin their journey to become a CDO?
Well, first of all, I would say that having the technical knowledge is important. You have to be able to speak to data scientists in their language, to data engineers in their language, and to data enablers. And you have to be able to speak with the business also. So it's not just about communication skills. It's about understanding what they have to do and why they do the things that the way they do it. So there's a knowledge base that you have to acquire because jumping to this role. But then you're not gonna be better as a CDO by acquiring deeper knowledge on those areas. I think, yeah, you need the basis, but once you acquire the basis, you should focus on more on things like change management, how to set up a culture, how to bring people together, and share. How to bring people together with a shared vision. So how you would inspire the team and the organization to go through this transformation process. That we should remember that no one wants to go through a transformation process. Nobody likes change. So you have to inspire them. So they convince themselves that they have to go through this change because it's going to be good for them and for the organization. So I think the technical stuff is important. You have to have it, but it's not enough. And you have to build these very tough to acquire skills that will, I think, define whether you succeed or not as a chief data officer.
I think that's great advice. The technical acumen is a must-have, but it's so much more to be successful. So,
yeah.
Well,
as we said before, the main challenge is in people. So you have to master how to have people do things that they're not willing to do without pushing them to do it. So That's one of the key challenges.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much, Ivan. It's been just a pleasure talking with you today. And I also want to thank the viewers of this video. And just to remind everyone, please visit cdomagazine.tech. There's additional interviews, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you.